So today is the 18th of May. I am 6 months on T, and my overall changes and stuff were mostly significant toward the beginning. Um, I don't know that my voice is really getting much deeper, which is a little weird because it was supposed to get pretty deep, but at the same time, I don't dislike my voice, so um, it definitely sounds masculine enough that that's fine. you know, um, I would appreciate the acne to calm down. Um, but at the same time, really bad acne runs in, my genetics. So I can't really complain too much about that. I definitely have been so much happier these last 6 months on tea than I've been the rest of my life. I still can get sad. I can still get even, to the point where I could cry or feel somewhat depressed or things like that. But it doesn't stay with me. It doesn't haunt me. It doesn't control me. Um, like the depression lifting has just been honestly a lifesaver. Um, I will say that over the last month, my hairs on my face have definitely gotten a little longer and a little darker, which is nice. I did cut my beard because my girlfriend's graduation is this week, and she, as always, felt a little more that my beard would look better, a little shorter. I was hoping more facial hair would grow in before I guess, nipped it, but I snipped half of it off so that, when we take graduation pictures, I didn't want to look like scruffy. I cut my hair too, so I would love it if my eyebrows thickened up just a bit, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. um, I definitely still smell more, sweat wise and stuff like that. I am hotter for sure, and have a higher libido and the normal things. They just happened very rapidly right off the bat, and then have kind of mellowed out a bit. But I'm not complaining about that. I am actually pretty okay with it. Um, I did get my referral. It has been submitted for my top surgery. The thing that is being worked on now is my letter to go to the surgeons, and I believe I'm going to be talking with my therapist on Thursday about that, so that's exciting. Um, but I'm not actually going to be able to get the top surgery. I will just have the letter and all the stuff submitted, so that hopefully it will be easy and I don't have to like fight with insurance about whether or not this was actually going to be a thing when we move to the state we moved to New York from. When we go home is in July. So we just found out um essentially less than a week ago we can move back across the entire country, and that's like awesome in some ways, but the timing and how much I have to get done is not awesome. Um, I'm still dealing with the name change stuff. Like, I've only been able to change my name on a few smaller ish things, some gaming accounts or um, stuff like that. I made a new email to reflect I'm different, name changed and stuff. But in reality, it's like I have to change my name with all these different places. My spouse is able to see doctors in person for the first time in over a year because we're finally fully vaccinated, so we have tons of appointments and are dealing with like medication changes and labs and blah blah blah. And also on top of that, I'm having to do like give notice and tear our apartment apart and pack things and figure out what we're keeping and what we're donating and what we're throwing away, and try to find somewhere to live out there, to rent. And we have to be out of here by the 30th of June, and it's like as soon as we get done with that, then we have to drive partway. I'll have cleaned out my girlfriend's apartment at that point and our apartment, and we'll be stopping at my spouse's parents' house, and then I have to clean out all of her stuff from there, and then long distance drive for 4 days the rest of the way across the country. Um, it's a lot, and it's in a very short time frame, and again, at the same time as doing all that, I have to be getting things situated and paperwork changed up and everything for the move, and also for my name change. Like, I'm literally going to be getting my new driver's license here and then immediately leaving to go get a new driver's license there. Um, it's like, um, and she's graduating this week, and this week is what I'm supposed to be doing, like going to the Social Security Administration's office and stuff like that for my name change stuff. It's just a lot. And my spouse's health hasn't been good, so I've genuinely been considering just flying her there instead of her being in the car for the long distance drive, um, and having like some family there help take care of her for the 4 days, and hope that that would be less stressful. There's just a lot. Um, Trying not to look at our apartment because it is a disaster. Like, it is. I don't really like a lot of messiness and clutter everywhere and things all over the floor and stuff like that. I'm not that kind of person. I tend to be not a hoarder, and this is a little not fun for me. But packing and all that stuff is not the fun part of moving. Driving long distance is not the fun part of moving. The fun part of moving is unpacking the things that are precious to you in a new place and getting new things for it, and giving it a fresh paint, as it were, giving your life a fresh start or whatever. So hopefully I'll still be able to get top surgery referrals and stuff like that without any issues because I already got them here. And I'll be able to transfer my medical stuff like all easy for transitioning. And thankfully, where we're going, there are a lot of trans rights, and it's decently liberal and all that. I'm hoping I was kind of hoping that I could, maybe get the top surgery at the end of the year, or by the end of the year, I guess I should say. And maybe that's a little optimistic, but that's what I was hoping. I'm hoping that could still be possible. Um, I'll have to wait and see. But I would really like to get that done because that means next year I can start on the bottom surgeries, and the bottom surgeries are going to be multiple surgeries that takes a very long time between, being able to do them. It's not like you can get a bottom surgery and then, a month later go back for your next bottom surgery. That's not how it works. Top surgery is this big thing, and then you recover, and it's just the one surgery that you're recovering from. Um, Once I get my surgeries all done and taken care of and stuff, though, I can just live, just take my tea and go about life. And I really look forward to that. Like, I really, really look forward to that. I want that very much. But I am not disappointed in the changes on tea. Um, 6 months, half a year of having healthy testosterone levels, of having good feelings, and not feeling just constantly like there's something just wrong with me and that no one else could let me fit. And I'm getting misgendered almost not at all. Like, every once in a while, someone gives me a look like they're trying to figure it out, or what is this, or whatever. But I mean, for the most part, people don't see me as an androgynous blob anymore, which is what I was for so long. And it's like a massive relief to just be a boy. Before the androgynous not blog, blob, they saw, you know, a lesbian blob. And I've never looked feminine me that way. Even when I was trying really hard, like super, super hard, I was just never that. Sorry for the yawn, it's pretty early. I was just never that person. Um, no matter how hard I tried to force myself to be. Now I don't try to force myself to be anything, and it's nice. I mean, I'm the most comfortable I've ever been in my entire life. And that's even with all of the stress and the stuff happening and everything. Like, even though it's just stressful to be changing my name while moving, while doing all this other stuff, having my name changed is priceless to me. My paperwork was supposed to come yesterday. I was hoping it would come Saturday and come a little early. Instead, it looks like it's going to come today and be a little late. Um, but at the same time, it's already done. It's already the fully approved, um, finished, all that. My lawyer has already sent me it. Like, it's in the mail. It's coming, and I don't have a lawyer anymore because I don't need one anymore, because this precious thing has already happened. My name has changed. It's done. It's accomplished. And once I go through doing all of this and changing my name everywhere and getting that taken care of, it's going to be just this massive relief. But right now, while we're trying to move, it's a little bit distressing because, we're trying to find an apartment. I have a great credit score, but no point in trying to steal my identity, because I don't even know if they're going to be able to run credit checks correctly, because my name's going to be changing, and obviously I want to put down my real name, but I don't know how long it takes for stuff like that to change or to go over or whatever, and I don't know if they're going to be able to even, like, find it. I don't know. I don't know when that kind of stuff switches over and everything. Um, it's gonna be weird because, I have excellent references for my rental history. I've never made a late payment. I don't do that. And it's like, when people, call even here where we live right now and ask for a reference for me, is it going to be someone who knows me at the main office, or is it going to be someone who doesn't? And they're like, I don't know who that is. It's like, weird. Um, but it'll be worth it. We'll get through it. It's going to be fine. It's just funny timing. Like, the timing's just so weird. But I am glad that for my girlfriend's graduation, that at least I've got like some more masculinity going on with stuff. Um, like, I almost don't get misgendered at all, despite the zit. Um, and it's hard to see it in the camera, but I definitely have like all these dark hairs and stuff like going along, and I have tons and tons of blonde like see-through hairs, and then I have like all along here I have like the shadow of hairs that are darkening in, and that darkening in is really really nice. I really appreciate that it's darkening in. My mustache hairs are so long that when I eat, sometimes I'm like, there's a hair in my food, and then I'm like, oh, it's just my mustache. But my mustache is so blonde; it is completely blonde, and it's like, you can darken up anytime now, mustache. You can do it. I believe in you, mustache. Darken up a little bit. I've still not been able to get a binder. I don't know really what to do about that, because I I really need to find a way, if I'm gonna get a binder, to be able to try them on. Um, it's not smart for an asthmatic to just buy something and then not be able to use it, especially when it's this expensive. Um, but I don't know. I've worried that as my, gut goes down, the chest would protrude more. And, you know, when you have a gut, it kind of helps the chest to blend in, and it's a little less like obvious through, you know, decent shirts that it's like there's a sports bra there. It's less, when your chest is sticking out and your tummy is sticking out, they kind of meld into each other, or whatever. There's guys who are heavier set and stuff, and they have, a bigger chest too. So it's like not totally the end of the world. Now there's guys who have a gut and they don't have a bigger chest, but it's pretty abnormal for a guy to have a big chest but not have a big tummy. So I'm like, what am I gonna do about that? I don't know. Um, it's uncomfortable, but at the same time, again, hopefully I can just get top surgery pretty quickly and call it good. I I have not been having a lot of the like, when you are on testosterone, your body's supposed to recompose itself a little bit and have like the muscle and the fat redistributes and stuff. I did have some of that. I definitely lost at least an inch off of my hips for fat, but my tummy has gotten fatter. Not super surprised by that, but my muscle and stuff, I feel like I gained a little bit and then it just sort of like stopped. And I've been trying to have like an extra bit of protein every day and stuff to facilitate muscle, but I also haven't been doing like calisthenics for the exercising. I've been like taking walks and stuff. Um, I don't know, maybe I should try getting back into that, but the walks are a lot less like intense, and I've been so distressed like with the moving and stuff, and well, distressed not the right word, overwhelmed. So, doing that kind of exercise and stuff has not been on my mind. I have not been exercising every day, but I have been taking walks more. Like for a while there, I wasn't exercising at all, so this is better, but it's like I don't know. I was hoping for something faster. Some guys it takes like 2 years of really gradual change for the tea to help with the recomposition of the body, and then some guys the recomposition actually happens pretty quickly, and it's very noticeable. Another thing I really really wanted but I have not gotten is an Adam's apple. I have come to terms with that it might just not happen. um, it's sad because I would really um, appreciate having an Adam's apple, but I don't get to decide what happens and what doesn't happen. So for my hair loss, it's been, I think I've gotten a little bit. I mean my hair has always had like this corner thing going on, but um like I feel like there's just a little bit. I feel like it used to be like it would come this way and then it would go straight down, like do you like this, and now I feel like there's that slight little bit of corner right there. I don't know if you can see it. This, and I feel like this little like finger width of inward movement or whatever. I feel like that was something that wasn't there before. So I feel like there might be the slightest of receding so far, but that's it. Like I haven't had like balding, which is like a relief. It's a big relief. I don't know. An Adam's apple might still happen. I'm still thinking about that. I'm sorry. Um, it's technically possible, but I just I don't know that it will. Um, hopefully once I move and stuff, I can get to where I'm doing exercising again, more the way that I would like. Um, exercising to be and everything. Plus, we're planning on doing a lot of like going into nature and camping and hiking and swimming and all the stuff that I love. So hopefully, um, that'll help as well. But I don't know. I've been exercising pretty consistently for years at this point, for years and years, and I just cannot seem to lose weight, like fat, like at all. I was swimming at the gym, at least 3 times a week for like a year and a half. I just never saw any change. Like it's just I can gain muscle, but I can't seem to lose fat. Um, I don't know why. I don't know. I like feel like I don't eat like super bad or unhealthy or whatever. I don't eat super a lot. Like my portions or food or whatever isn't nuts. I basically eat like 2 to 3 meals a day on a snack, and that's it. And the snack is usually like a yogurt or some cottage cheese or an apple, or It's not like it's, oh, let's go eat candy or something like that. I don't actually eat a lot of candy. Um, I almost never drink. I don't drink soda pop almost ever. I mean, maybe like 3, 4 times in a year, and never, never lose fat. So, um, it seems to be something internal with my body that it doesn't want to do that, because I did intentionally gain weight for my spouse, and I did gain a bunch of weight when I stopped like coaching and stuff, and I started having a more sedentary lifestyle or whatever, with becoming a cell phone tech and stuff. So for a few years there, I gained weight partially because of my lifestyle, and then I gained weight because my spouse likes rounder, softer edged people, attractiveness wise or whatever. I started trying to actively lose weight almost 5 years ago, like a full 5 years ago. And I lost basically 30 pounds, 35 ish pounds, and that's the lowest it'll go. And sometimes it goes back up a little bit. It's never gone back up all the way, thank goodness. But my weight just does not go down. When it goes up, thankfully, it's usually muscle gain. I still, all my clothes fit the same way. It doesn't fluctuate, except for where muscle would be. Like sometimes my arms get tight. That's not me bragging or whatever. That's I realize that sounds kind of like I'm being like, oh my guns. um, but yeah, I don't know. I know exercise and diet doesn't seem to affect anything, um, which is frustrating. It definitely affects muscle gain. It just doesn't affect weight loss, like of fat in particular. I don't know. I was hoping that the testosterone would help me a little with that, but it does not seem to care. My body just is like, yeah, screw whatever. So is what it is with that. Again, maybe that'll change once we move and my lifestyle jumps up in activity quite a significant amount. Um, but I mean, I've been exercising all the doctor recommended amounts and stuff like that for years, and it hasn't done anything. So, um, as far as if my body does recomp slowly, gradually over years, um, at least at some point it would. So I would be okay with that. I just hope it actually does. um, Someday start to do that in a more pronounced way instead of just, oh, you're a little stronger, congratulations. Not that I'm trying to be ungrateful for that, because I've always done better with any kind of dysphoria when I feel stronger. Like muscle helps me, and I do want to get back into calisthenics and stuff. When we move, I would like that a lot, actually. I would like to feel more muscular again, because I do feel like a little bit of that muscle's dropped off since I stopped doing that. Again, I got lazy for a little bit and I wasn't exercising. But gonna be getting lots and lots of exercise and moving all this stuff and carrying boxes down to the car and up the steps and everything else. There's gonna be lots and lots of exercise. Um, my arthritis has already been like flaring up, and it's like, arthritis, go away. I'm trying to live here. um, Testosterone has definitely changed my life significantly for the better, but that's for me personally. That's for my medical conditions, for my mental conditions and emotional conditions. Obviously, the same things would not happen for everyone, and uh, with testosterone in and of itself, it's kind of a Pandora's box of what you're gonna get and what you're not gonna get. I mean, symptoms and changes and all of that is totally luck based. It's partially based on your genetics, but it's partially just luck, and it's not always consistent. Like, I know a guy who's been on testosterone for like 18 years and he can't grow chin hairs at all, not a single facial hair. And he's been on good doses of it, no, and he just has had to accept that men in his genetics just don't get hairy, and too bad, so sad. Um, and he's gotten some body hair, but he's never gotten facial hair. And I know another guy who's been on testosterone for 3 years, and his voice has never dropped. And it frustrates him. Like, you can hear a slight bit of like crackling in his voice sometimes, especially when he gets like excited about something. But in actuality, his voice is just not dropped. And testosterone just seems to affect different people in different ways, and that's just sort of what it does. But for me personally, testosterone has been a massive lifesaver and has taken away suicidal ideation, depression, and a lot of health stuff that I had been suffering a lot from. I haven't been having as much problems with a lot of the things that used to cause me a problem physically and emotionally and mentally. And the doctors all said, this will help. And I wasn't so much psychological damage that it took so much therapy and so many years to get to the point where I could believe that there really was something I could do about all of my suffering, and that it really could just be that simple. And even as I was doing it and following the doctor's advice, I still didn't actually believe that it was going to do what they said it did. Even after it did what they said it would do, it still took a long time for it to sink in that this is real, that this is happening, that this is hope. Like, I had completely given up hope. And I guess that's the biggest thing that testosterone really did, because even beyond all the other amazing things that testosterone has been doing for me, it also gave me back the ability to hope. And that's very powerful. um, I would definitely not go back to how I was living, not for millions of dollars. I would not. Flat out. I wouldn't even for billions of dollars. Except that unless I could use the billions of dollars to come back to how I am now. Even just this. Like, I can't even imagine what it'll be like years from now. And yet I try. 6 months. It's hopefully just 6 months leading into the rest of my entire life of being a healthier, happier person and not being like super messed up. Um, the one big sad thing is no bottom growth. Um, I mean, I shouldn't say none. Before, I didn't have a anything down there going on the way that a normal, even girl would. Um, and there has been some change, but it's basically to look more like a normal girl's instead of like a nothing. Um, which is sad. But I don't know why I looked so weird in the first place. I except that I'm intersex. So the only thing I can figure is when I was a baby, maybe they did a surgery or something on me. Um, like some sort of genital mutilation or something, and it sewed back together and just never grew correctly. Um, so it looked weird and deformed and was just skin. There was no like girls are supposed to have like a clit and things like that. I just had skin, and because of the whole bottom growth thing, it's not just skin now, but it's not. I don't have a little mini peen like I'd always, thought was going to hopefully someday happen, and I don't know how much that's going to affect bottom surgeries. That is a genuine concern of mine, but I try not to worry about it because eventually I'm going to be pursuing bottom surgery and they'll tell me then. The only thing that testosterone can't really seem to alleviate is the bottom dysphoria that I have. Um, but it's alleviated a lot. And as much as there are certain things that are disappointing, it's been just such a wonderfully helpful thing for me personally. Um, again, I can sort of look at myself in the mirror a little more as the facial hair has been darkening. I've been checking it in the mirror more, and I used to not be able to look at myself at all, like at period, like not even for 10 seconds. And I can't look at myself very long. It's only like, maybe 20, 30 seconds, but it's improvement. you know, eh, I can walk around in public and not be like just constantly in shame and constantly scared of anyone looking at me too hard or I mean there's just so much less distress. I can look at myself and not be so afraid of looking too hard. And I still try not to look too hard because there's definitely things that I would appreciate being a little different, but for the most part there's just too much to be grateful for to be miserable about it. And it's not like dysphoria has just evaporated and gone away and it's, no longer lurking around corners. It's just less corners. And I recover better, more quickly, with less difficulty. Things don't like just devastate me the way that they did. I have a very busy day ahead of me. I got up at like 7 something a.m. to make sure that I had plenty of time to record, seeing as it is the big 6 months. Um, my eyes water less, and honestly, light seems to bother my eyes a little less, which I have no idea why that's the thing, because I didn't know that could be a result of testosterone. Um, like I used to not be able to be around like direct sunlight or bright lights at all without sunglasses. And now it's like if it's bright, I obviously still need sunglasses, or if it's going to be for a while, I need sunglasses. But there's been several several times when I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to go out and check the mail. And even though it's sunny out, I don't get like the blind spots and the, um, blindness doesn't spread and things like that. I just go out and it's okay. And that's never been true. Like I've always had like my eyes have always been since my late teens, just these like darkenings in light, and my pupils don't really dilate. They are just always big, and for some reason, that's not as aggressive. Um, my teeth seem to be doing a lot better, which is wonderful. um, wish that could have happened sooner. Uh, you know, having less crappy of teeth, but whatever. Um, I've just felt better overall. I do wish it could do something about my arthritis, but I know testosterone's not like actual magic. It's not actually gonna like cure something that's completely unrelated, to the system. But I can't think of any reason I would ever regret this decision or be upset about it or anything like that at all. I just wish I could have done it sooner. I wish I could have mentally wrapped my brain around doing it sooner. I can't even say, oh, I wish I could have had the opportunity sooner, because the truth of the matter is I did. I just was so mentally severely messed up that I couldn't. Like the grooming that I received as a child and the pressure, the constant bullying and, you know, ostracizing, the judgments and criticisms, and what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, and codependency issues. um, just no acceptance, not from other people, and certainly not from myself. Really, really just was the biggest barrier for me personally. And it's such a massive relief not to live that way. Even besides the testosterone, it's a massive relief to not be like that. I should probably do the voice thing. So, hi, I'm Lil, and this is me 6 months on testosterone. And it was funny. I called and was talking to my spouse's family and stuff, and her brother hadn't heard my voice in a while. And he said, well, it's deeper, but you still sound like you. I wasn't expecting that. And I was like, did you think I was going to turn into another human being? Of course I'm still me. Like, it was such a funny statement. I'm like, yes, I would still sound like me. Hey, gosh, stop yawning. I have a long day ahead of myself. But I think that's what I have to say for 6 months. See you next month. Or sooner. Whenever. But I don't know if it will be until next month. It's simply because, again, moving. But we'll see. Who knows?